Hi everyone, for our integration maturity, we have to learn, integrate and consider all the functions, the 8, not only the first 4, but for our well-being and self, I think we should avoid the situation involving our function 7 as much as possible. I think when we use our function 7, we cannot use our function 2 to achieve the goal of our first function. And when we don't use the function 2, we might be in the loop back and forth between our function 1 and 3. When we are exposed to a situation involving our function 7, exposed to too much information of this category, or when we use too much or for too long this function, we can become nervous, irritated, angry, very stressed, uncomfortable, even overwhelmed, annoyed, depressed, and not ourselves because we don't operate in our natural functioning, mainly our first two functions. When we use our function 7, we don't use our function 2. We cannot use the two extroverted judging functions at the same time, or two extroverted perceiving functions, or two introverted judging functions, or the two introverted perceiving functions. We cannot use TE and FE at the same time, or NE and SE, or TI and FI, or NI and SI. Remember that the function 7 has the lowest capacity. We are quickly overwhelmed, drained, exhausted by this information, and it is hard to use this function. To have access to it, it requires a lot of energy and effort. We may have difficulty to process this information, to understand them, to use this function. It is not our natural functioning. If we don't use our second function, we may be in the loop, or rather back and forth between the function 1 and 3, which can be unhealthy and source of depression or emptiness. If we spend too much time and energy in our function 7, if we use it too much, that makes us stagnate, slow down our progression in life of our first two functions of ourselves. Because we don't use our function 2, which is the pillar to grow, it assists, help our dominant first function to achieve its goal, to improve, to make us happy and fulfilled. Using function 2 equal individual happy, fulfilled, accomplished. Using function 7 equal not using function 2 equal goal of the function 1 not accomplished equal individual not happy. Sort of like lost ourselves, we are not fulfilled, and we may feel less alive. Don't ignore the function 7 totally, consider it, but be aware of our energy, or rather of our 8 different energies, to be conscious if we feel good and are still aligned with ourselves. It is okay to use it in very small doses, and always remember that we are mainly our function 1 and 2. Consider the function 7, respect it, let it be, except the situations are not for us, the same for the person who have this function higher in their function stack, respect them and let them be. And instead to use the function 7, use the function 2 or the 2 plus 3, which can do a similar job than the 7, it just takes more time to arrive at the same result. The second is crucial for the development, is a pillar to be healthy, to be accomplished, fulfill our need and be happy. Also, the function 2, sort of like activate, bring the 4, it's easier to activate another function which is in the same attitude as the one we use. Through the function 2, we may have a better use and grasp of the function 4, the inferior. It is crucial to learn our function 7 in order to integrate it, consider it, respect it, and only after, when we are mature, integrated, aware, we can ignore it in order to keep a good mental health, to not be stressed or depressed, and stay ourselves. We should respect the position of our function and not try to use them like a dominant function. I will give you some example, or rather a lot of example, with all the psychological type. For INTJ and ISTJ, who have FE7 and TE2, if you socialize, talk, chat, FE, you create nothing, you are not productive, TE. If you do what others like or what others want you to do, FE, you achieve nothing, TE. If you have fun, FE, you don't work, TE. Even if for them working is more fun than fun. If you talk, FE, you don't TE take action. If you express your feeling, FE, you cannot take action or accomplish task, TE. If you consider people and feeling, FE, nothing will be done, TE. You don't let the social norms, FE, hold you back to make things happen, TE. If people manipulate you emotionally, FE, you will not do the right thing, TE. If you are emotional, FE, you don't function correctly, you are not efficient, you cannot focus on your work, task or thing, TE. If you are aligned with what the group value, FE, you build nothing, TE. If you take in consideration what everyone like or want, FE, you cannot be impartial, direct or efficient, TE. If you dwell on the emotion of others, FE, you are not providing the practical solution or help, TE. For INFJ and ISFJ, TE7 and FE2, if you try to achieve something or work, TE, you don't socialize or have fun, FE. If you are busy with work or thing, TE, you cannot take care of the social atmosphere or well-being of other people, FE. If you are focused to solve a thing, TE, you cannot comfort people or validate their feeling, FE. If you try to figure out how things work together, TE, you cannot discern what others feel, FE. If you are focused on the fact, TE, you are not focused on what people feel, FE. If you actually do something, TE, you don't speak, FE. If you explain something, give the fact, TE, you don't express your emotion or you feel, FE. If you are engaged with a thing, TE, you are not socially engaged with human, FE. If you try to get things done quickly, TE, maybe it is not what people wanted, FE, and they might not be happy. If you see people as resources, number for their utility, TE, you might not value them and see them as living beings, FE. For ENTP and ESTP, FI7 and TI2, if you are in your feeling, FI, you cannot reason, calculate, or think clearly, TI. Or something function, the mechanism, TI, is not related to your feeling, not personal, FI. If you are stuck in your beliefs and morals, FI, you will not find the correct answer, TI. Don't listen to others, FI, if you want to know the truth, TI. Don't let your mood, FI, hold you back to explore topics and ideas, TI, or NE and SE. That you like it or not, FI, the science is here, TI. You have to ignore your beliefs and values, FI, to make theories, TI. You have to be impersonal, ignore your own feelings and values, FI, to build a system, framework, mechanism or theory on something, TI. For ESFP and ENFP, TI7, FI2, if you focus on the mechanical aspect of something, TI, you are not connected with your feeling, FI. If you try to make sense of things, TI, you may not be free to be who you really are, FI. If you overthink about something, TI, you cannot follow what passionates you, FI. If you try to break something, TI, You are not aligned with your values. It is not good. You are not happy. Fi. The most logical, correct thing or information, Ti, might not make you feel good, Fi. The truth, Ti, might hurt you, Fi. Don't try to make sense, Ti, of what you feel, Fi. Don't try to find logic, Ti, in your belief and passion, Fi. Or something is defined or made on the inside, Ti, may disappoint you, make you feel bad, Fi. The theories of science, Ti, may not be aligned with your beliefs, Fi. If you try to see the logic inside or behind something, Ti, you might not know if you value like it or not, Fi. If you search to know what is correct or not, right or wrong, Ti, you might not be aligned with yourself, with what corresponds to you, Fi. For INTP and INFP, SE7 and E2, if you focus on what you see in surface, SE, you cannot imagine the other possibilities, NE. If you have physical sensory experience, SE, you cannot learn something new, NE. If you ignore the physical reality, SE, you are free to imagine, fantasize, or dream, NE. If you experience the physical world, SE, you don't experience the psychic, imaginary world of ideas, NE. If you are too down to earth, SE, you are not fun, not entertaining, and don't make jokes, NE. If you are too focused on what happens now, SE, you don't teach to others the knowledge you have collected, NE. If you focus on the reality in surface, SE, you don't imagine your future poem, music, book or movie, NE. If you focus on what already exists right now, SE, you don't innovate, NE. For ISTP and ISFP, NE7, SE2, if you imagine or dream about multiple possible scenarios, NE, you are not present, not physically connected, not engaged with the physical world, SE. If you imagine scenarios that will never happen, NE, you experience nothing physically in the present, SE. If you imagine what cannot exist, NE, you don't see what actually exists physically, SE. If you ignore the possibilities, NE, you quickly make choice now, SE. If you are imaginative, NE, you are not realist, SE. If you don't think to the hypothetical what if, NE, you are free to enjoy the present, SE. For ENTJ and ENFJ, SI7 and I2, if you always do the same thing over and over, SI, you cannot detect the problem and inconsistencies, NI. If you repeat what has been done in the past, SI, you cannot improve and lead society to a better future, NI. If you always have the same routine, SI, you cannot improve, NI. If you blindly follow the rules, SI, you cannot question them and detect how they are not essential or existential, NI. If you follow what society, family, structure told you to do, SI, you will not be connected to your essence, soul or mind, NI. You don't let society and family, SI, prevent you to improve and change the world, NI. If you are structured or strict, SI, you are not flexible and don't adapt to situation or to other mind, NI. If you stay in your comfort zone, SI, you cannot focus, project yourself, envision your next goal, NI. If you always focus on one physical thing, SI, you cannot know if it's the best or worst if you don't compare it to something else, NI. If you focus on one detail, SI, you don't move forward on the next project, NI. If you ignore your physical needs like sleep, rest and eat, SI. You can focus longer on your mission, NI. But I don't think it is good to not eat and sleep. If you copy, imitate others, SI, you don't have original, authentic, or unique ideas, NI. For ESTJ and ESFJ, NI7, SI2, if you think to the future, you cannot do what you are supposed to do, SI. If you follow your will and intuition, NI, you cannot do what your family or entourage expect, SI. If you go your own way, NI, you don't stabilize, you are not stable, you don't fit society expectation, SI. If you follow your own ID, NI, you cannot follow the step of a procedure, SI. If you improve, change constantly your mind, NI, you don't have a strict routine, SI. If you try to constantly update or improve things, NI, you don't stabilize the procedure, SI. If you try to guess or imagine what will happen in the future, NI, you are not watching your souvenir items, SI. If you break the rules or code, NI, you don't respect the rules or code of society, SI. This is just my perception, observation and experience. As always, take it or leave it. In short, do what makes you happy and fulfilled. Avoid what makes you feel bad, stressed, depressed or empty. And listen to yourself first. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.